Okay. You should get that stuff out as soon as you get in here. And then if there's time, you can socialize a little bit. Okay. So we've been talking about how to use the exponent laws for negative exponents and for fraction exponents, as well as positive exponents, which you guys have been used to working with. So let's see how many of these you guys can do. Let's look at the first one. Just multiplying's going on. What do you get when you multiply these two together? I heard x. When we multiply the two powers of x that we see there, what do we get? What do we do with the exponents? Yeah, and we get? Okay. And then we times that by multiplying the y's together. Add the exponents, what do you get? 2 plus negative 1. 1. Now that's not the simplest way we can say. Is there an easier way to say 4 over 2? Just plain old 2, and we don't have to write the 1 with the y. No negative exponents that we have to change, so we're done. Okay. Here we have a division. Remember, it's the exponents you subtract. Oftentimes, students will make the mistake that they have to subtract the big numbers. No, you divide the big numbers. What do you get when we divide here? 2. A to the, excellent, B to the 1 over 3. Good. Any powers with negative exponents, move them down and make them positive. So what does my final answer look like? A to the, remember it changes to positive when you move it. Yes, that's okay. Good. Okay, the next one, this is, many students always have trouble with this one because they forget about this. Remember, you have to raise everything inside to the 1/3. So 8 has to be raised to the 1/3 times a to the 3rd, which has to be raised to the 1/3, times b to the 6th, which has to be raised to the 1/3. And the first one is not an exponent law. You're just evaluating. Remember how to do 8 to the 1/3. How did we evaluate fraction exponents? What did we do with them to make them easier to find the answer? Not decimal. No, we didn't use our calculator. We made it a radical. How do you write this as a radical? Cube root 8, which is 2. So that works out to 2. Here we've got to multiply the exponents. We're multiplying a whole number by a fraction, so change the whole number to a fraction. What do you get when you multiply these two? A to the 3 over 3, which is the same as just a to the 1, or a. This one, you got to do 6 over 1 times 1 over 3. So you end up with b to the 6 over 3, which simplifies to b to the 2nd. And then I'm actually going to write all these together. We write them closer than that. 2a to the first, or just a, b squared. Okay, the last one. Looks complicated, but if you just follow your exponent laws and remember what to do when you add and subtract fractions and things like that, or multiply fractions, you'll be fine. What would you like to do inside? Or what would you like to do first? Do you want to raise everything inside to the 1/2, or do you want to divide first? Yeah, I think divide is better. Let's save that for the end. Now, where there's just a variable and no exponents, remember the exponent we assume is 1. 100 divide 25. A to the first divide a to the fifth. A to the -4, because it's 1 minus 5. A to the first divide b to the -1/2. That's the same as b to the 1 minus -1/2. Well, the 2 minuses changed to a plus. How do I add 1 and 1/2? 3/2, somebody said, because you change this to 1/1, which becomes 2/2. So you get b to the 3/2. This is probably the most complex one we'll work with. Okay, now what? Got to take everything inside and raise it to the 1/2, right? What's 4 to the 1/2? Again, when you see fraction, think radical in your head. Square root of 4. 4 to the 1/2 is the same as the square root of 4. So it's the square root of 4. Well, I've got to multiply these. What's -4/1 times 1/2? -4/2, and I'm going to be able to simplify that, but I'll do it in the next step. Times b to the, what's 3/2 times 1/2? Come on. 3/4. Holy moly. Square root of this is 2. A becomes -2. B to the 3/4. Am I done? No, we've got to make the negative exponent positive. Move the a to the -2 down to make it a to the +2. Oh, Honda again, or I mean Santa Fe, Hyundai again. I sold my Santa Fe like 2 years ago. And they keep sending me those auto calls. Time for a checkup. No, it's time to go for my dentist for a checkup. Here she goes. Here she goes. Need to wait for a second until she gets it out of her system. Yeah, because you're starting to approach hyperventilating. Oh, now we've got the lap slapping. Okay, I'll stop saying stuff. Okay, you good? All right. So we end up with 2 times b to the 3/4 over a to the +2. Okay. Okay. So you can now do all of exercise 1.7. That will be for Tuesday, which is our next class. And remember, Tuesday's a Friday schedule. So on Tuesday, we have math in the afternoon, not morning. Okay. And then if you're done 1.7, you can start picking away at that test review exercise. And as always, if you work through the test review exercise, check the solutions on Teams to make sure you're doing them right and asking for help if you're having problems with them. You should be well prepared for the test. Yeah, let me just